Now, time to look back on what was last week and another great night at Melton, Jace, because hatchback, magnificent. Now, Jace, I tell you, we didn't know this last week. I tell you, we didn't know this.
Jace,
I tell you this.
One.
Do you know, have you been looking at Twitter today?
No.
Okay.
I'm going
you won't
to
know this.
I'm going to later. But, spoiler alert, tell me what's going on.
Yeah, so there's a couple of promos up there. Me for tipping hatchback, me for the Sun and the Moon, and you for Operative Line, who's your love affair horse. But there's another little one that went out this morning, Jace. We got the pod quad last week.
You know what? I was doing the form this week. I wondered whether we did.
We did. And here's the deal. It would have cost, look, we played it wide. It would have cost $600 for a unit, or $60 for 10%. It paid $8,252 or $825 for a 10% stake off your 60. Or you've made, what have you made there? $7,500 if you put the unit on.
Have we promoted it?
Well, today we did. I put a little gif of Roy Orbison singing "You Got It" as in the pod quad.
Oh, you got it. Well.
Now, you know what's funny here, right? Now, I got hatchback in that first leg, but I didn't get the quad on my game plan. And I went back and listened to the audio just hoping. And you made the call. We were going through that last leg, and you've said along the lines of, "Now, bugger it, we'll go wide. 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9." And I'm so glad you said 5 because I wasn't putting it in.
No, but we should make it clear. You went out in the last leg of the quarter, didn't you? From memory,
I did.
But you had you were in such a beautiful position. I know we can't do this and whatever for the game plan, but it almost feels like for the quaddie, this is where we might need an exclusive audience for this kind of thing. But really, it feels like you should have $50 in your a pineapple in the sky rocket where you can, or more, where you can say, well, I'm going to add to this because you can lay off left, right, and centre.
100%. And that's
Rochambeau, rock, paper, scissors, and still win.
Well, you're spot on because, of course, the game plan didn't win. What did I do? I went and put a nice-sized bundle bet on every other runner, and so I was covered. And I know there's a way. Someone asked me, why do you bundle bet when you could jump on Betfair? The truth is, I don't have a lot of time to be sitting there every Saturday night on the fair. It would be nice. That'd be a bit of fun, but I don't really have the time. I have other things I must do. And so, yeah, you might not be getting 100% value in your bundle bet, but that's why I do it, just because I cover myself.
Yeah, lay them back. You can do it. Well, it doesn't have to be necessarily the exact suggestion that you or I put out. You can do it if you're in that position. The only thing is, we do try to alert the punters. All right, this is where we're at. I even spoke the week before about when we both got the quaddie about if payday's 20 days away, or you're doing it tough for whatever reason, you can cash out here and you can make a profit. And you know what? Whatever decision you make in that regard, whether you lay off, don't lay off, cash out, live with it.
100%. Yeah. And if you want to let it ride, go with it. Yeah, that's all good. Some people would prefer to. And sometimes, the cash out and the bundle bet, that's really only for the really good results, isn't it? If it's not really life changing, you might as well just let it ride because you end up.
Well, I always talk about punting personality. I would prefer. I'm a very competitive beast. I like to win.
Yeah.
So I would prefer, if I've put myself in a position like you did to win, I want to win. And you know what? I don't regret. People say, "Oh, you didn't have to do that. You spent $200 laying off when you got it anyway." And you're like, "Yeah, well, that's what you want to do." I want to walk away if I've spent $200 and I know I can bet every other runner and still get $350 out of it.
Yep, I'm the same.
End up doing
Why would you? I once took a risk many years back in the Gallops with it, and I left one horse out because it couldn't win. You know which horse won the last leg, so I ended up spending all this extra money.
I don't want to mention the amount, but Blake Red, our old mate, I reckon had a multi going for an extraordinary amount and chose not to lay off on anything. And he had no problems with it, but I was just going, I can't accept it personally.
Love the punting personality. You could write a book on it. Jace, looking back at the review from last week, one of our segments is, of course, the votes. And the tongue tie off medal votes, and the leaderboard is currently Ryan Sanderson on 6. I've got no idea if it's
Sandman.
He's on 6. Kez is on 5. Rockstar is on 5.
Yes,
Jason Lee. I can't read my writing here. Who's that on 3? Herbie.
Ricky
Herbie's on
Renshaw
3.
on 3.
Yep. Nathan Jack's on 3, and Mark Pitt and Clayton Tonkin have each got 2. So how did you go last week with your votes, Jace? 3, 2, 1.
I feel like this is one of those games in the Brownlow medal world. That's my favourite night of the year, the Brownlow medal. Where Jimmy Herbertson got 42 touches and kicked 5 goals. So I don't know whether you've decided to be left of centre and a little bit off Broadway, a little bit of a contrarian and go differently, but I've gone
A little bit of Craig.
votes.
Is it Craig? Was it Craig Willis doing the voiceovers of the round by round? James Herbertson. No, that's Dennis Cometti I'm doing there, isn't it?
Dennis Cometti. He was scintillating. Was Craig Willis the Australian Open guy?
Yeah, just a very powerful voice.
Yes.
Craig Willis.
That's right. 3 votes
Herbertson.
To the Love Bug. The Bug of
2.
Love. 2 votes went to Cole Marshall.
Yep.
His team just seemed to be flatlining, didn't they? And then he's come out and gone bang, bang.
Yep.
With Bark and Son of Mock. Back and Son of Mac. And 1 vote. 1 vote because I actually went to I'm not even Catholic, and I went to my priest. Confession. He's not my priest, but I just went in there and I asked if I was allowed to continue punting, even though I'd said that I would potentially forego the game moving forward if the Sun and the Moon defeated.
Sorry, let me just clarify. You did clarify that by starting out by saying, I've said it before, I'll say it again.
Yeah.
You've said it many a time.
I always go to a man of the clergy, a man of the cloth when this happens. And he said, he absolved me, Hail Marys and all the rest of it, and I rubbed the rosary beads, even though I'm not Catholic. But he did say to me, but if you're going to do this, you've got to give 1 vote to LB Ashwood.
Beautiful. I love how you've done that. And I think he gave you a shout out, Jace, just before the interview, Tim O'Connor was saying.
Well, it just tells you the scope that this Tongue Tie Off podcast has got going. And I've got a message from Cam Brown, who's the part owner, and I believe I've got to get back to Brett Coffey, who's also questioning. I'll let him know about the confessional on Twitter as well.
Happy, very happy owners. I gave 3 to James Herbertson, the Love Bug, 2 to Kyle Marshall.
Oh,
don't know what nickname. Kyle Marsh. No, I don't know.
Marshall, Horror Marshall. Is that a battery?
Yeah.
My the car battery.
All right, the battery, and 2 to the battery, and 1 to Chris Alford, the puppet. Got a double, and I thought he needed to be in the votes. Yeah, he needed to be in the votes because Puppet would normally dominate this, but he's down there on only 1 vote, maybe 2 at this stage.
I'm honestly staggered that you didn't find a vote for John or Everett.
No, Ever and Alex Ashwood both get my honourable mentions this week, Jace.
Which are still, for those in the cheap seats, they are both worth a Fabergé egg. That's
what their words. That's it. A zilch. Black Booker. Are we both going down the same pathway?
There's not a clue there, by the way. I was pretty much sold after the first race.
Right.
Bulletproof.
Oh yes. Was he already in your black book?
Oh, I think he's in my will, my testament. I think I spoke about him in the confessional. Told him how much I love Bulletproof Boy, Father Mulcahy from MASH. The Padre, he's the most lovable horse I think in my entire life. He's not my personal favourite. I've got San Carlo on the back.
Oh, there you go. Look at that.
But
Team San Carlo.
But he would be the most lovable, adorable racing animal. Just about.
He's a ripper,
and he would have won. All right. I'm pretty sure.
I agree with you 100%. I reckon he would have won. I gave mine to Crime Rider. I think this horse hasn't won since 2022, Jace, which is quite a while ago now. But yeah, Crime Rider just showing signs. Last week, very unlucky. Just showing signs that he's getting back to striking it rich.
You're segueing into the review, into the preview already here.
Kind of. It's very interesting. His position.
Call it Lejos.
What we should do
was of the same mind as you, I believe.
Yes, thank you for prompting me there because, of course, we had a new little thing on Twitter, which was crowd horsing. Do you like that name, Jace? Crowd horsing.
Very clever. You should have been in media and marketing.
How good's that, eh? And now I just can't seem to find it, but we will get there.
I can't find anything, so I don't know.
Here it is. All right. So we'll put these up on the website, but I wanted to quickly whip through them, right? Ryan Aylwood, dedicated listener. Harry Stamper.
Yes. Getting close.
David Lloydie says,
Lloydie.
Haranya, load up next start. The more you put on, the more you collect Haranya.
Haranya's taken a fair bit from me, I'm afraid, but I'll do that for Lloydie.
Josh Nelms did say the Haranya fan club has seen this movie a few times, to which Lloydie says, not another Cosimo, is it? Poor old Cosimo, always copping a black book drive-by, Jace. Mikey Cole, I won't be jumping off Son of Mac anytime soon.
Yeah, well, you mentioned last week that what was the plan? They've got big plans with the horse.
Yeah, they wanted to go to Queensland, and I did say it had to win that race, and it did. Paul Lejos, Crime Writer. He said, I know Jason Bonington secretly harbours a wish to write a criminal trilogy, but doing the trots form is taking up all his time.
Yeah, I'll find time for it. I'll definitely write a novel at some point. I don't know whether it'll be true crime, but we'll just watch this space.
Good on you, Paul. And Tony Fitt, who's doing a bloody good job of really keeping us honest by putting up the stats every week.
Already he's done me in. He's doing unpaid results for us, but already he's done. I've got to get back to.
Well, we've gone and tracked it. We've got the numbers on the website, the numbers that we're going with. They're verified by our man in the sky here behind the scenes. But we still appreciate Tony's commitment to listening and getting around us. And Tony likes Tilly Jane, but he's saying, I don't think you'll get a price after last night.
It's got to keep
the crowd horsing.
It's got to keep going in good races, so I reckon you might be able to.
And that's the review done and dusted, which of course takes us, J-Bon, to this week and the Melton form preview.